Hey, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're gonna be jumping into another session of Epic 7 now today. Just got a little discussion video for you guys, a quick little channel update, if you will, and it's mostly gonna be revolving around the state of the game, right? The state of Epic 7 and where it's at, with the news that's come out in the last week of just SmileGate kind of closing down all of their US operations, essentially. You guys might have heard the news through the official Discord server, right, where all the community managers were basically laid off. And Tristan Wolf's video, which covers this topic in depth, he has more of a background look, right, into everything, a behind-the-scenes look, I should say. And he has a lot more insight. He is partnered with and has friends who are partnered with Epic 7 directly, and he knows the community managers on a more personal level. It is really sad to see the community managers get laid off and for them to go. Anyone losing their jobs in general is a terrible thing, right? Because they have families they need to support, right? They need that income as well. And so I really wish the best for the community managers who were let go. Even though I've never interacted with them personally, I did enjoy the content that they put out for everybody. The surveys they did, the freebie giveaways, you know, the 2 leaves here and there, the gold, the charms and stuff with the events that they ran, and all the content they provided the community through their YouTube videos and through their streams. So if you want to, catch up on all that stuff, Tristan Wolf, again, has a really great video that you should definitely check out after this one. I'm not really going to go in depth about all the little things, all the little details, because personally, I don't know much about all the inner workings of SmileGate and what's going on, and I'm not affiliated with SmileGate in any way, shape, or form, actually. They've never reached out to me, and I've never reached out to them for a partnership. I've just kind of made videos. I've always just made videos for my own personal creative outlet, right? It's always been a hobby of mine, and I've made videos before I even had this YouTube channel. I've had several others before this. I started YouTube back when I was in middle school, and I'm currently like 29 years old, so it's been quite a journey on this platform. And that's not to say that I'm going to stop making content on this platform, but we'll get to that later. But the news of SmileGate and them closing their operations, them kind of laying off all of their community managers, is kind of a big wake-up call for me, at the very least. And it signals to me, based on my experiences in many other games, namely, if you guys were around for the MMORPG Terra, I played that game, thousands and thousands of hours sunk into that game, and I spent an incredible amount of time playing it. So when Terra was starting to go on its decline, we saw pretty much the same thing happen. Terra was really great with having community managers. They had live stream events every single week. They had updates. They had content streams. They engaged with the community directly, and I used to tune into all those all the time. It was great. This was before like giant social media platforms kind of took over everything, right? They're still kind of in their infancy in terms of that point of the internet, and those community managers were a great way to connect with all the players. It kept players engaged. We got frequent content updates, and I just remember the news where the community managers said in their last live stream that they were gonna go, they were gone, and that there would be no more content going forward, like the community produced content going forward. That was the period where Terra kind of entered its maintenance phase. And by maintenance phase, I mean there was no real new content added to the game from that point onward. There would be, of course, like they'll say, hey, here's new dungeons, here's new bosses, here are some loots, you can upgrade your weapons, you can still level up, we'll increase the level cap. They still had stuff like that, but all the bosses that came out were reskins of older bosses. The mechanics were not necessarily anything new. They might have just taken old you know, boss attacks and stuff, and kind of re-coordinated them and re-timed them so it'd be slightly different than the previous dungeon that you did for the previous few months. And they kind of just drip-fed content for the next several years until ultimately Terra just shut down. It was a sad day to see it go. It was my favorite MMORPG to play at the time. And yeah, so this situation just kind of reminds me of Terra and the kind of road we can expect to go down in terms of Epic 7. I think SmileGate, and I think Tristan Wolf had mentioned this in his video, I think SmileGate has reached the point where they feel comfortable entering this kind of this standby phase, right? This kind of, hey, we've done a lot, they've set up a lot, and over the last several years there have been many improvements to the game, and honestly this is still probably the best gacha game to play on the market today. There's just hands down, I don't think anything that can really compete with the quality that you get from Epic 7. The issue is that if you're a veteran player, you've been playing many years like I have, and I mean, if you're at the end game is RTA, and they have pretty much neglected RTA for the past several seasons, I'd say 3 or 4 seasons, where nothing has really changed fundamentally to any of the mechanics. In fact, there's no changes to mechanics since ban protection was added, right? And despite the controversies around ban protection, at least it was something, at least they tried something, but now we're seeing pretty much nothing new. This is something that I've been venting about in the RTA videos themselves. I've been talking about wanting at least a third pre-ban, wanting some sort of frenzy changes and mechanics, wanting some sort of global ban, right? Maybe some rotating ban list of certain things to promote different playstyles, to promote creativity, and to just encourage more players to try out the mode, right? Even if they're kind of limited in their roster, they can still find success with other means, other units. But aside from just, you know, the buffs that we see that come out every several weeks, to the new characters that get released, there really isn't any change to RTA. And in terms of other contents as well, you don't really see anything new being added. Labyrinth, I think Tristan Wolf had mentioned as well, Labyrinth, the last time a new Labyrinth was added was 4 years ago, right? Abyss, 3 years ago. Abyss challenge stages, 2 years ago. All the Rift bosses are reskins. Expeditions are on a rotation now. There's never a new boss being released for any of that. World boss has always been on the same thing forever. Ancient Inheritance is just recycled every few months as well. And, well, they even reuse the mechanics of that to, you know, create the young Senya side story as well, right? With the roaming around the map and then exploring. And that's not to say that it's bad, right? But recycling some content sometimes can save developers some time. It can help them kind of, you know, invest their resources into developing other things. The issue is we're not really seeing many other things, right? We're getting a lot of reruns of past events, and which is fine. Helps older players, helps newer players catch up to, you know, the older players in terms of the content. You know, you can access it. It's really nice, but at the same time, for older players, kind of left in the dust. And I'm at the point where, you know, I enjoy the game still. I still like playing. In fact, I'm doing better than I've been doing for the past 2 or 3 seasons in RTA, like currently in the last preseason and currently in this season with playing with ML Lua. Honestly, without ML Lua, I don't know how much longer I can tolerate RTA at this point. It is absolutely insane. But yeah, that's just sort of my experiences with other games and what I foresee Epic 7 to kind of go down as well, in terms of them firing their community managers, in terms of them just kind of shutting down their entire US-based operations. When it comes to the game, again, I'm still going to be making content. I'm not going to go anywhere, right? I'm still going to be making content about Epic 7 for you guys, but I might actually be stepping back a little bit in terms of the frequency of uploads. It was something that's been bothering me for the last, I'd say, 3 or 4 days as I sat around and just kind of thought about the news and what it meant for the game and what I want to do moving forward. Because daily uploads is a very large commitment. Like, I upload 30-minute videos of just, you know, commentary, and while it is just 30 minutes of gameplay and commentary, it takes a lot more than 30 minutes to get that gameplay and that commentary. Sometimes I'll be sitting here recording for an hour, 2 or 3 hours for a single video, because the standard, the quality of the matches just don't quite, you know, they don't quite meet my expectations. As the years have gone by, you know, I've been more and more picky with what I want to upload, because I want to upload something quality, something that will give you a good insight into what it's like playing RTA. That's why it's uncut gameplay footage and uncut commentary, but at the same time I want the matches to be interesting. I don't want it to be boring, right? If I'm just steamrolling people over and over and over again, and there's almost no resistance because there's a giant gear gap in terms of quality, it's not going to be fun. The more fun matches are the ones where they're uphill battles, right? They're ones where I'm struggling and can figure out a way to kind of overcome it. Or maybe I don't and I succumb to my opponent's drafts and their units, and that's fine. But in terms of me becoming more picky with the content, it takes way more time to make that content, to record it, to render it, to upload it, to make the thumbnails for it. It is very draining, and for the past, I don't know, I think it's been at least 2, maybe 3 years of doing daily uploads for this game. I think it is time for me to kind of take a little step back, not a huge step, a little step back. I'm gonna reduce my uploads from maybe 7 days a week to 4 or 5 times a week, but that's not to say that I'm not gonna be playing Epic 7 and making more content on it. I have other projects that I want to work on for this game, longer guides, more edited content, that I think will be very entertaining for those of you guys who want to continue watching. And so I do need time to be able to create that type of content though, so I think taking a step back will help me find that time and not make me feel as pressured or as stressed in the process. Now, one thing that I do want to say is that, Epic 7, while they're entering this phase, and it might seem very negative with all the, your favorite content creators, streamers out there reacting, all the people sounding off on Stove and on Reddit, it might signal that there could potentially be some sort of change on the horizon. It's unconfirmed, but I have seen people throw around that the Netmarble guy that people like blaming the changes on has not been with the company for a couple of years now, ever since Awake Potential, right? The Awake Potential update, and that the leadership surrounding SmileGate has been like completely overhauled, like at least 2 times in the last 2 or 3 years. So I don't know whether or not any of that's true, but I do know that going forward, there is a slim chance, a slim hope that maybe this kind of restructuring and everything, the consolidation of their company, is to, bring some changes, right? So I will stick around, we'll see. I'll give them a few months to see if they can figure out what they're gonna do with their game. But otherwise, I still love this game. I still love it. The animations are beautiful. The characters are great. I don't really care about stories and stuff, but I mean, a PvP-based game. I'm a very competitive player, so PvP-based game is definitely, just definitely feels like home for me. But anyway, that is just my personal thoughts and opinions on the whole situation surrounding, the whole SmileGate North America US closure of their branches, and kind of what to expect from this channel moving forward. I don't know when I'll start cutting back on some content, but if you don't see an upload for a day or so, don't worry, right? It's just me. I'll be back. I'm just taking a little breather, maybe working on some content that takes a little bit more effort and some time behind it. So yeah, with that being said though, guys, thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you for the support throughout all this time. Again, I'm not quitting. I don't want you to think I'm quitting, because I'm not. But if you don't want to miss out on any future videos, do be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Alright, catch you in the next one. Take care.